This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Today is Wealth Wednesday, and we are so excited to have Caleb Doane, who is the Vice President of Foster Financial, joining us today. Hi, Caleb.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so you have been providing us some amazing information and tips and tools over the past few weeks, and I know that we've been talking about Secure Act 2.0. So much happening in it. You are breaking it down each week. Today, you want to talk about employer contributions. Kick it off for us.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So this is another big change from Secure Act 2.0. And for everyone who's unsure about what employer contributions are, this is essentially an incentive that employers give to their employees to contribute to their retirement accounts. Okay, so oftentimes the language around it will be something along the lines of, hey, we as an employer will match 100% of your contributions up to a certain percentage of your salary. Okay, so a lot of times, maybe it's 3 or 4%, but essentially, let's say it's 4%. If an employee makes $100,000 a year and they contribute $4,000 into their retirement account, the employer will say, hey, congrats, as a reward for doing that, I'm also going to contribute $4,000 into this account. So it's a wonderful thing for people to take advantage of. And probably on the hierarchy of accounts that we typically encourage people to contribute to, contributing up to the employer match in their 401k or 403b is probably at the top of that list, because in almost no other account is somebody besides you going to be putting money. And so you definitely want to take advantage of it. The main thing that changed with Secure Act 2.0 is that previously all of the employer contributions had to be on a pre-tax basis. Now it can be on a Roth basis if the employee chooses it.
Okay, so pre-tax, so let's dive into that a bit. So pre-tax meaning it goes in, you already pay the taxes in advance so that when you withdraw the funds later, there's no tax penalties.
So yeah, that's with the Roth selections. And that's a really good benefit, which is what they recently added. Before, when it was just pre-tax, when it goes in, you kind of get the tax benefit up front, meaning in that year, you get to deduct it from your taxes. And then when it comes out, you pay the taxes. Now with this, Roth eligibility in here, when it goes in, it actually gets added to the employee's compensation for that year. So, in our same example from before, if they made $100,000, the employer contributes an additional $4,000. They pay taxes on $104,000 in that year, but it grows completely tax-free and it comes out completely tax-free. So it can be a really big benefit for them.
Big benefit. And really, with the employer making that decision, how would they know? Should I choose the Roth version, or should I stay with the pre-tax?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's kind of like, do I want to pay my tax now or later? And it really depends on someone's kind of individual tax situation, because if you pay the taxes right now, it's going to be oftentimes taxes on a smaller lump sum of money, because the money hasn't had a chance to grow. So, that $4,000, if it goes in right now, if you were to pay taxes on it, you'd be paying taxes on $4,000. Okay, so that's kind of the Roth side. But if you chose the pre-tax side, that $4,000 went in, you didn't pay taxes on it, it now grew to 20 by the time you retired, and now you have to pay taxes on 20 grand. So there's kind of a pro and con there, and it also depends which tax bracket you're going to be in.
Yes. Okay, so that's something I was going to ask next, because really, like a single person, they're in the highest tax bracket, right? But then when you get married or you have kids and you have dependents and you start purchasing items, real estate, homes, your tax bracket decreases. And so how would one determine, like, should they say, okay, I plan to have a family later, let me go ahead and wait for that better tax bracket percentage?
Yeah, if people kind of know, and this is part of being a financial advisor, you have to make an educated guess about what the future is going to hold. And so we'll ask people, are you planning on getting married? Are you planning on working in retirement? What age do we expect that you'll take Social Security? Because all of that's going to determine what your tax bracket is going to look like in the future. And one of the other things that we often talk about is legislative risk. And this just means that the tax bracket could actually change by the time, you eventually start withdrawing money for retirement. So right now, someone making $100,000 could be in, a 22% tax bracket, but in the future, someone making 100 grand, who knows? It could be 30, it could be 25. It all depends what actually happens in Congress. So it's something we have to kind of plan for and try to mitigate that risk as we make decisions too.
Yeah, and make those educated guesses,
Right.
as you alluded to, because that is the purpose and really the advantage of having a financial advisor is being able to have someone that knows the ins and the outs and they can trust for that information. And you all offer complimentary consultations, correct?
Yeah.
Share more with me.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We typically talk about having a really low pressure environment for the complimentary consultation. So we just invite people to come in if they have questions about their financial plan or want to see what a financial plan would look like for them. We're happy to take a look at everything and start giving some advice on what we do differently, what you're doing great, and kind of make a plan for the future.
Okay, well, wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Caleb. You heard it. That was amazing info we got today. And remember, we are doing this every week. Next week is Women's Wealth Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. And if you want more information about Foster Financial, check out their website, and we'll be right back. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.